And you've got 5 minutes to change out of those polyester stretch pants and into something a little fancier, because we're headed uptown tonight.
There's an old curiosity shop. Every once in a while I go by there for the fond recollections that lie there in that old curiosity shop.
The fact that summer began officially only 2 days ago means nothing to our twin pianos. Blithely ignoring the seasons, they are here with a four-handed version of Autumn Nocturne.
Well, good afternoon, cats and kittens. I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop. Okay, go ahead and relax. It's summertime. Forget changing into something more fancy. We're just going to take a look at some fancy things here on the kitchen counter, which are currently up for sale in the Old Curiosity Shop. And if you see anything you like, you can see better pictures, better descriptions. The link to the shop is in the description box, always underneath this video. Got a couple of books over here, and we're going to look at those, a couple of references for a few of the items. But before we begin, today's cup of coffee is brought to you by...
A cup of coffee, a sandwich, and you, a cozy corner, a table for two.
Well, it's brought to you by the Empire of Japan. Well, it was when this cup and saucer were made in the late 1920s to early 1930s. Everybody recognizes Blue Willow, and I decided I'd use my brown Blue Willow porcelain to complement with the traditional blue and white. Now this piece right here is actually American made. So let me give a little stir with the silver spoon. And what's everybody... Am I the only one that drinks coffee in the middle of the summertime? You know, I drink it year round, and as I've told you, caffeine has no effect on me at all. I can drink a cup of coffee at midnight and go right to sleep, and sleep all night. I'm kind of funny that way. This Blue Willow teapot has nothing on the bottom. I have a hunch it might be a Homer Laughlin pot. I'm not sure about that. It's a nice small one. I don't know how many, that would hold maybe 4 cups or so, I guess, of tea. And little hole in the top to let the steam out, of course. No chips, and, well, there's one chip on the underside of that lid right there. Turn it around here. No big deal that it's unmarked. A lot of times with American dinnerware, cups and saucers, bowls aren't marked. You might only get a mark on a plate here or there. But I do like how it's decorated. I especially like the handle. Alright, clean on the inside, no crazing, no staining, so that is ready to be used. Should you like to do that. Then in the front here we have 12, a set of 12. They have been together all these years, can you imagine? And never been separated. Now unfortunately the big berry bowl that would have gone with these, the master berry, is gone. But we can appreciate all 12 of these really pretty bowls. Now I'm guessing those are carnations? Oh, I don't know. You'll correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm probably wrong. But they're pretty flowers. We have a nice brown background there. Kind of almost an autumn look to those. Yeah? Well, I don't think these are hand painted. They look like decals to me. Yes, this is all decal. So they did that in the factory. And there are 12 of them. Made by the Laughlin company. This is wonderful, and I knew it was wonderful when I got it. And it's already up to like 50 bucks in the auction, as I listed it yesterday. It's in a beautiful, let's see, the company called this French Rose, if I remember correctly, Laughlin, and it's the Wells glaze. Now what can be confusing about this glaze is they would sometimes put Wells glaze, I'm going to show you the mark, on any undecorated dinnerware at that time. So you'll see this glaze with different patterns. Beautiful embossed handles. There's the Art Wells Glazes label right there. I hope it's not too blurry. You ever see Art Wells Glazes? Definitely buy it. This is early 30s and it's really pretty stuff. So it's a sought after glaze and lots of nice colors. That's a nice vegetable serving bowl with lid in absolutely perfect condition. Not a chip or crack. Gorgeous piece right there. We're not going to talk too much about Tiffin's June night because we've talked about that before, but I've got 2 auctions running. This is June night by Tiffin. So I have these 3 wine stems. You say, well, that's not a whole lot of wine. Well, you know, we didn't guzzle wine back in the day like we do today in those big wine glasses. You just kind of sip out of this, and you'll see these listed as wine glasses, and then these here are little cocktail glasses as well. But this is one auction, and then these random pieces over here, because I only have this one juice glass here. So if you didn't get to see the other video, I'll give you a close-up of the beautiful, well, you're not really seeing it with all the distractions of the backsplash here in this kitchen. But anyway, there it is. This lovely piece of quadruple plate back here, which has lost its luster, poor old thing. But you know, who cares? It's absolutely beautiful anyway. The detail is gorgeous on it, and it has its burner. Let's bring it front and center. I've got a feeling this video is going to be more than 10 minutes, but you tell me you don't mind when I ramble. Okay, come forward to me. So we can see here, standing on these wonderful late Victorian legs, the original burner is still down there. Let's get it out of there. There it is, even with some wick still in it. Okay, and it fits right under there. Now there's no damage on this pot, nothing's missing. We just obviously have lost all of our quadruple plate. But it has its lid, and you can still use this, of course. This is either bone. I know it looks like ivory. Sometimes there's a synthetic, a celluloid that they made in those days that looks like ivory. This turns, but I would take it off and clean it. There's a screw, you pop it right out of there. You can clean it and oil it, and it'd be a lot easier to turn. This was to keep water hot at the table. You'll sometimes see these listed as a hot beverage server. And I'll slide this back here. It's actually a Wilcox brand. Now, it's not marked Wilcox. It says, I think, Superior Silver under there, but It's kind of like Anchor Hocking made Fire King, but they put Fire King on the glass. Well, Wilcox made this up in Connecticut, up in Meridian, same place where Meridian B Silver Company is, but they labeled it at this time as Superior Silver. And we're just going to take a look here in my 1896 illustrated catalog of the Marshall Field Company. Thank you, Chicago. And let's go to this page that I have marked, because I would like for us to look for a moment. It's hard to do with one hand. And now this is an actual page from the catalog, okay, of 1896. This is a reproduction of it. And we see here a piece that looks, now that of course is not my piece, but it's very, very, very similar to it. And I want to show you this so that we're pretty clear. We look at the description, and what is it called? An urn. You see that? Fluted, bead border, plain burnished. $30. And you can see there are 4 legs. There's a burner underneath. There's a spigot there to pour it, 2 handles. And very much like this example here. Now, it actually goes with a complete tea set. And there is a teapot, a coffee pot, and what's wonderful is all the other additional pieces that go with it. There's a spooner, a cream, sugar bowl with lid. We've already looked at the coffee pot and the teapot. There's the urn in the middle. Here's the butter, and even a syrup. So clearly hot water could be kept inside of this particular urn so that it was ready to serve at the table. And then you've also got your separate coffee and teapots there. I just wanted to show you that. I really like this book. It's one I picked up at a flea market not too long ago, and it's just one of those references that I enjoy. So I hope you enjoyed that as well. That's a nice piece, and you know, I like old silver even when it's lost its silver plate. You don't have to polish it, and it kind of just has a nice old warm look. I know it doesn't look so hot with that backsplash behind it, but what can I say? Let's get the Wells pottery back in place and be very careful with that. I've got 5 glasses here that I haven't identified yet because I haven't looked them up, but they are listed. Maybe by the time this video is over, I'll have them identified. I have seen this encrusted sort of rambling rose so many times, and I cannot remember which glass company. A lot of people made an embossed decoration very similar to this. Somebody told me once, and I don't remember, but I'll go through my books and I'll find it. It's no doubt it's in one of my glass books. Okay, do you see that? There we go. This is probably platinum here, and I think it's called a rambling rose encrusted design on those. I've only got 5 of them, and you say, oh, you know, what a shame. The 6th one broke, and it's too bad you have an odd number. Well, I don't look at it that way. You know what I say? I say we have a wonderful set of 4 and 1 extra to put aside in case Uncle Henry gets tipsy and breaks one. So you got to look at it, you know, on the glass is half filled. Instead of we're missing one, we've got an extra. All right, talked about the modern pattern made by Hall. They made teapots, as you know, quite a few of them. And here it is in this wonderful yellow color. This is in excellent condition with no chips or cracks, and we can see why they refer to this as modern. And that's what they did, spelled M-O-D-E-R-N-E with an E on the end. A hole to let the steam out, no damage. It's nice and clean on the inside, and you can certainly use this, and it has a wonderful art modern deco feel to it, and it is marked Hall on the bottom. I won't pick that up, but there it is. You want to serve lemons with your tea? There you go. How about that? Nice piece of depression glass, again in pink, from the 1930s. Beautiful piece there. And then I've got the German, is this German? I think this is Peerless German. Yes. the cream and sugar, which you saw. Really pretty there, hand painted by someone named Rose, I think, because it says Rose on the bottom. But these are not, these flowers don't appear to be roses. It's got a lovely iridescence, a pearlescent iridescent gold decoration. This is paper thin porcelain. Oh my goodness, that is literally paper thin. Not a chip or a crack. And the sugar bowl there with the delicate handles and this nice little lid. Yeah, that's really nice. You see that? Now what am I, oh, and then back here, one more piece to show you. A candy jar, or, believe it or not, you'll sometimes see these advertised as a candy box, and they did, when these were made, sometimes call these boxes, even though it's not made of cardboard or wood and it isn't square. Candy jar or candy box. This had to be one of the quintessential gift items that people gave in the late 20s into the 30s, because there were thousands and thousands of these made by literally every glass company. And we're going to take a look. We can see one of my favorite books, Great American Glass of the Roaring '20s and the Depression Era. This is book 2, era. There's an example of one there and one there, although that one's in the Georgian pattern and that one is painted. If we just open this up, and let's do that for kicks and jollies. Move that out of the way. And let's just very quickly, this is a, I didn't steal it, it says withdrawn, okay, from some library. Where is it? The St. Charles Public Library. Sorry, everybody in St. Charles. Patrick, do you live up there? I know you're in Illinois. Your library gave this book up. I guess nobody checked it out. Well, I check it out almost every day, right here in my own house. Let's just quickly flip through here, and you'll see on almost every page, there's going to be a candy jar box, just like that. All right, this is U.S. glass. There's one with a parrot on it. This is Northwood. There's one with a stretch finish on it. This is Lancaster glass. There are two. Are you getting the idea? Everybody made a candy jar that looks like that. Here's the Diamond Glass Company. There's one in black. That's why it's so hard to identify these. Cooperative Flint. There are two or three. And anyway, I'm not going to bore you by continuing to do that. I just want to make out the point that, I guess the point is, if you were to Google this and say, well, that description says it's made by Northwood or Fenton or Hazel Atlas, the listings could be erroneous because everybody made them and they look almost identical. But anyway, this is a nice one. Now this, sadly, this has three chips in it, a couple of chips, and you'll clearly see them in the photographs in my auction list. There's a little rim chip there on the foot, and on the lid we don't really see until we get the lid off. There are two rim chips, and I think a little tiny third one over there. So somebody was in and out of this candy jar quite a bit, but it has a nice etched pattern on it as well. Okay, so we went uptown and we got fancy, and it looks like I'm going to come in just in about 20 minutes. I hope everybody enjoyed this thrift haul. I had fun putting it together, sort of curating it for you. Everything's for sale, and if you see anything you like, please feel free to check it out in the old curiosity shop. And if you're not a subscriber to this channel or to the eBay store, I wish you'd consider doing that. It doesn't cost any money, and you'll get notifications, and you'll know anytime I list anything for sale or auction, or for when videos come up. Thanks everybody for watching, and your comments have been great this week. I've got to do a video thanking some individuals for helping me out with some pieces I couldn't identify, and I'm going to do that as well. Take us on a field trip this week and more shopping videos as well. So that's it. Okay, I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop, saying thanks for watching. Wait for the cat. So long for now.